The Infinity Stones, or the Infinity Gems if you want to get Simon Miller about it, are the be-all and end-all of Marvel Comics. A collection of 6, the Infinity Stones seemingly date back to the origin of the universe, and each one is capable of manipulating their respective element to unheard-of heights. The Space Stone, the Reality Stone, the Power Stone, the Mind Stone, the Tilly Stone pub in Gateshead, the Soul Stone. Each is as powerful as the other, but where the hell do they come from? Well, let's take a look at how each of these powerful items was introduced in the MCU, as well as how the comics tell us they came into being as a whole. With this in mind, I'm Jules, Whatculture.com, and this is Who Made the Infinity Stones in the MCU. Number 9. The Comic Origin. First seen in Marvel Premiere Volume 1, the Infinity Stones were originally called Soul Gems, with the first one, aptly the Soul Stone, being given to Adam Warlock, more on him later, by the High Evolutionary. It was only when Thanos was searching for a way to woo death, as you do, that he learned about the powers of the Soul Gems and so set out to gather them. Another origin for the Infinity Stones was given in a story that, frankly, might not actually be part of the Marvel canon. Malibu Comics, a competitor of Marvel in the 90s, was going down hard. So Marvel bought some of their characters off of them and began a crossover event. The most prolific of these events was called Avengers Ultraverse. There's a whole story to dive into, but the most important point is that this story is the first time that the Soul Stones were referred to as the Infinity Gems. That, and that there was a 7th Infinity Gem known as the Ego Gem, which hosted the consciousness of the Stones. The story went that in the beginning of the universe, there was a being called Nemesis. For reasons beyond it got super lonely, Nemesis split itself into 7 different entities, which became these gems. The Ego Gem, however, was destroyed, hence why Nemesis couldn't patch itself back together. Number 8. The Space Stone. The Space Stone acted as the first time an Infinity Stone is presented in the MCU, albeit not actually shown as an Infinity Stone. It appeared in Captain America the First Avenger in the form of the Tesseract, a blue cube that Hydra leader Red Skull used to create super-powered weapons and tech. This might be a little bit of a low blow as it was achieved using tech from the 40s, but given the abilities of the Space Stone making laser cannons seems like a bit of a wasted opportunity. The Space Stone's power grants the user the ability to travel through space via teleportation, which has been seen twice in the MCU yet never fully acknowledged. Red Skull inadvertently utilizes it towards the end of Captain America the First Avenger when he grabs the Tesseract with his bare hands. Given the context seen throughout the film, the bright light and beam into the sky seem to suggest that Red Skull was obliterated by the Tesseract, yet its true nature is revealed at the end of the Avengers when Thor and Loki use it to teleport back to Asgard, which might imply that this isn't the last we've seen of the Red Skull. Number 7. The Reality Stone. Much like the Space Stone, the Reality Stone has shown that its host is kind of an idiot on a cosmic scale. Debuting in Thor: The Dark World, the Reality Stone takes the form of a kind of crimson liquid known as the Aether. It's seen to date back to the days before Odin, where the father of the All-Fathers is waging a war against the Dark Elves. The leader of the Dark Elves, Malekith, is a bit of a dope though, because he only sees this stone, whose ability it is to change reality itself, as a kind of Mario mushroom power-up. In the comics, its application has seen Thanos drive the Collector mad and has often been described as considerably more potent than even cosmic cubes. The cosmic cubes have popped up in the comics plenty of times, such as when one gained sentience and resurrected Steve Rogers' entire life memories. So yeah, they're pretty impressive as it goes. Number 6. The Power Stone. Much more direct and to the point, the Power Stone essentially grants its host godly power. First seen in Guardians of the Galaxy under the name The Orb, the Power Stone has been shown to be so powerful that it could completely strip a planet of its life force. In the past, one group of mighty hosts tried to harness the power of the Power Stone, and they were obliterated for their troubles. One host that wasn't destroyed, as shown by the Collector when describing the Infinity Stones, was a titanic giant. With one touch, he annihilated all life on a planet, a feat which Ronan the Accuser wished to emulate. Even with all of this strength though, the Power Stone's true purpose is to act as a kind of battery for the other stones, unleashing the full potential of each of the other Infinity Stones. With this in mind, it certainly seems like it would be the best one to pick up first, which might be exactly why Thanos did just that within the Infinity Wars trailer. Number 5. The Mind Stone. Making its first appearance within the Avengers as Loki's staff, the Mind Stone's powers seem to have varied somewhat from the comics. It still holds the ability to control minds, but it's also been hinted that the stone, when in Loki's scepter, can grant powers to others. Through a variety of Hydra experiments, the Mind Stone has bestowed powers upon Wanda and Pedro Maximoff, transforming them into Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. As far as Infinity Stones go in the MCU, the Mind Stone has infinitely more exposure than the others. From being stuck in the scepter to being lodged in Vision's head, the Mind Stone has passed hands and spanned across many movies. Yet we kind of know where it has to end up, right? So I guess it's time to say goodbye to Vision, I guess. Number 4. The Time Stone. Another deviation from the source material, the Time Stone was unearthed in the MCU within Doctor Strange. Originally nothing more than a relatively powerful magic artifact, the Eye of Agamotto was reimagined as a host for the Time Stone in Doctor Strange. The Time Stone is insanely powerful, as it's been shown in comics and films to grant psionic abilities on the level that we would term as being magic, and grants users access to the astral plane. This was aptly shown during Doctor Strange's final battle, where the Doctor used an endless cycle to break down Dormammu's will, and result in a draw between the two. Given that they were in Dormammu's dark dimension where he is more or less omnipotent, the Time Stone has shown its worth as an Infinity Stone. Number 3. The Soul Stone. Within the comics, the Soul Stone can observe and attack somebody's spirit or soul. It also plays host to the Soul World, a realm within the stone that houses the souls captured by it. As we've not actually seen how it will appear in the MCU as yet, there are plenty of theories as to how it will happen. There are 3 prominent theories. The first is that it's possessed, to some extent, by Heimdall. This is hinted at by his pre-Ragnarok outfit, where an orange gem is embedded in his chest plate, as well as his all-knowing and all-seeing nature, plus he's got orange eyes, so there's that. The second theory is that it's being used to create Adam Warlock. Hinted at within one of the many post-credit sequences in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Adam Warlock may be created with it, as he was the very first host of the stone in the comics. The third and most likely theory is that it will show up in Black Panther. It makes sense chronologically, as it's the run-up film to Infinity Wars. Considering the updated version to the Black Panther comics mythos, it would also make sense. The all-new, all-different Black Panther could channel necromancy into communicating with other Black Panthers before him, which certainly sounds like something the Soul Stone would enable. Number 2. The Infinity Gauntlet. The proverbial gun to the galaxy-destroying bullets, the Infinity Gauntlet was originally created by Thanos himself. It was little more than just his regular glove with a few slots for the Infinity Stones, yet haven't we already seen this in the original Thor film in the background of the Asgard armory? Well, it turns out that this one was a fake, created for purposes only known to those behind the scenes, and that Thanos does indeed have the one and only gauntlet. It might have been displayed by Odin to assure his people that nothing could hurt them under his rule, or it could have been presented to him as a trick to throw him off the trail of ever hunting down the stones himself. Either way, if it's important enough to display, then it's clearly important enough to be more than just a regular hand warmer. So, those are the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet and how they've been shown in the movies so far. But how did they actually originate? Well, at number 1, the MCU origin. It's already been established, or at the very least hinted at, that the Infinity Stones were merely the byproducts of 6 entities being destroyed by the Big Bang. During the reveal of the orb being the Power Stone in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Collector regales the titular group with tales of what their new trinket actually is. There isn't anything more to the story at the moment, though knowing the history of the MCU, there certainly will be. For now though, there are theories as to a deeper origin of the Infinity Stones, one of which is that they were crafted from the old universe by the Celestials. We've only seen 3 Celestials in the MCU so far, the previously mentioned Power Stone wielder, the severed head of one in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, and Ego, Star-Lord's dad. Whether we'll see more of them is up for debate, but maybe it's time to look forward to the impending doom of Thanos rather than to the past. Oh, I just can't wait for this. And that's our list. Got any other theories as to how the Infinity Stones came into being? Well, let me know about them in the comments section below. Then why not swing by Whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.